Feature race for day one is the Champion Hurdle. We are seeing arguably, and I'm saying arguably because Galopin Des Champs a beast, but arguably the greatest horse in training in Constitution Hill, bidding for his second of very many Champion Hurdles. Yes, I put the mockers on Espoir de all those years ago. Wasn't my fault. He's an absolute good thing, right? I don't think anybody watching the video like this needs to be told. Anybody that's not even into horse racing probably doesn't need to be told. If you've got a horse that's 1 to 3 for a Champion Hurdle at Cheltenham, it's a full-gone conclusion that he wins. I don't know how to even think about possibly trying to find a bet in here. Yes, they'll be betting without the favourite. Yes, there'll be some each way nabs up for grabs. Zanahiyr got drugged a couple of years, didn't he, and got disqualified after it. Managed to run into third last year without being drugged up. You're trying to find one of those types of horses, right? But I don't even think on what we've seen this season, I could find one of those. At the time of recording, right, with the non-runner money back stuff, just want to touch on Impere Pass. He's gone out as big as 7 to 1. Now, they've talked about they'll give him a stay as hurdle entry, possibly still could come here. He got very close to State Man. We don't think that he's going to be able to surpass State Man. We don't think he's going to be able to do Constitution Hill. I'm saying we. You guys might disagree. 7 to 1 each way about him if he comes in, non-runner money back. Like, he's in the first 3. It's very scummy. It's a small amount of money to make. You might make a bit more back in place on the day. But if I was gun to head, having to advise people a sensible way to tie some money up for Cheltenham, that's the only thing I could possibly think of. But I think that shows the state of the race. Like Vauban's 4th priced in here. Marine Nationale, the favourite for the Arkle we've just talked about, is 4th on the list on Odds Checker. Paul, what do we do? Just sit back and enjoy the greatness? Or is there a way to find an in and make a few quid? Because that's what we all want, surely. See if we can pay for another pint.
Well, it's a bit like the Arkle, isn't it? You know, you've got a two-horse market. But it's feasible. You only have 2 runners in this race. But, you know, others are going to throw runners in for the prize money. But, you know, we're probably going to have, again, no more than 5 or 6 runners here. Possible Willie, even if he doesn't send in Impere Pass here, he could send one of his mares. Lossiemouth, Ashrow Diamond, Echoes in Rain, for example. He doesn't need all 3 of those for the Mare's Hurdle, so he could send one here. They've said that Lossiemouth is a Champion Hurdle horse for next season. Ashrow, I think, is probably better suited by 2 miles, although she has proved she gets 2.5 now. I was concerned about that. Echoes in Rain, she finished 4th in the Mare's Hurdle last year, pulled her chance away as usual. She'd probably be better suited by a faster run 2 miles. So it probably makes sense for Willie to send one of those 3 here, I think. Which one, I don't know. So, you know, complete guesswork. But I suppose, you've got the benefit of no run and no bet with William Hill, so you could use that. There are a couple of bigger prices that I think might end up here. Something like Pied Piper. If Zanahiyr ran here last year, Pied Piper very, very much could this year. Not So Sleepy won recently, obviously. He'll probably come here. You know, something's got to finish 3rd, hasn't it? But the one I'd probably pick out is Bob Ollinger. De Bromhead said he's going to send him here now. He's got nowhere else to send him, has he? He's a damn good horse, and if he's fit and well, he's probably better than all the others I've named. So he easily, you know, on the bridle, put Marie's Rock away. So, you know, he probably could have won that race by 15 lengths. You know, that's better than any of Willie's mares would have done, I think. So I think the one each way play for me would be Bob Ollinger. But I think really it's just a race to sit back and watch a true great, isn't it? And feel sorry for State Man as well, who would just win in any other season.
Yeah, but I mean, it is just that, isn't it? Like, you get the 2 sides of it, right? If something happens to him, God forbid, everyone will say we were blasé for overlooking the potential sides of it. We're not. We're looking for potential wins in there. You didn't do this because you saw it, but I was getting the Bob Ollinger ready to say to Jamie, big bad boy Bob was so good in that real kill, wasn't he? They talked about the guy that rides him at home, saying they wanted to run him against State Man.
Paul Beck is after Steve Thunder again.
That's it. Well, that's the thing with him there. Like, would it have been like on your mind for like Champion again? Like I'm saying about like the potential each way he bets. I suppose the big perk of someone like him at this point, right? We might get extended places later. Is Paul's already said it. He is coming here. So rather than having to take the 14 to 1 non-runner money back, I know Bob's had issues and stuff like that. You can still get 25 to 1 top price with Bet365.
You can get 50 with
Unibet.
Unibet.
Exactly. And you can still get 50s on the machine. Now, you will have to trade that's very close to final declarations because the markets reform on the exchange, didn't they? But I'd imagine there's a few people interested in scooping up a few quid on the exchanges. So anyway, Jamie, I'm talking over it. Am I just making you talk about Bob Ollinger and Champion Hurdle when there's no point talk about it? Do you want to talk about anything, or does Constitution Hill just absolutely shit home? Should we play the forecast?
Well, should we all know what the forecast is going to be? No, it adds spice to the race at the DRF, to be honest with you, because they're saying he's going to go against Stateman at the DRF, because thank God, because it would be boring otherwise. Bob might run first time out here. You wouldn't know. Would he kind of likes to that? Same with Lassimo, you don't know. Like, I have a funny feeling Lassimo would run first time out in the Mayor's Hurdle, to be honest with you. Willie's not afraid to do that. Will he run him first time out in will he run her, first time out in a Champion Hurdle? Very much doubt it. I suppose the one horse we haven't seen, and he was one of the top weights in the Galway Hurdle as a 4-year-old, is Eric the Brave. We haven't seen him since Bont out there at Tipperary. So I presume he might come back at the Dublin Races Festival. I don't think.
Didn't he pick up an injury, I think, Jamie?
Did he? Was he injured, or was he just a small bit of a setback, Paul? I can't remember, to be honest, because it's been so long ago. That was October, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he picked up an injury. Whether that means he could be back for the festival, I don't know.
Could be gone. But yeah, I mean, like 50 to 1. What? A fifth, 10 to 1 with her? Like, he got to finish third Bob Ollinger in the Champion Hurdle if he runs in it. Like, he's surely better than all the rest of them. So you're getting hopefully praying that you're getting a 10 to 1 winner and a multiple grade 1 winner finishing third in the Champion Hurdle. So look at you if we want to back it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put you off anyway, put that way, Jeff. He looks back these days, but you know he's optimum. Trip is 2.5 miles over hurdle. So the other question is, will they run we'll get on to it later. Will they run same owners against same owners in an entry hurdle? That's the problem. Like, they're afraid to do it apparently in a stairs. So, you know, but is it like, I see certain people now on Twitter calling out for a Ryanair hurdle. If that's the case, just if that's, there is horses for it. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, there's going to be 500-600 races. All those grade ones eventually now are going to be 500-600 races at Cheltenham, regardless, right? If they want to go down that road, take it off entry. Do you know what I mean? Stop this, why are they going to entry crap. If they wanted that badly, take it away from entry and put it on a Cheltenham. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't do it. We'd end up with.
I wouldn't do it either, Paul, because. Yeah. Oh, probably.
You get your Super Sundays, don't you? The horses that are like those middle distance type horses that just pick up races because it's middle distance. Bob might fall into that now. If they were ever going to do it, they need to make the Champion Hurdle 2 miles 2 or 2 miles 3. And you can't have the two options because we see the state of the affairs with this. They can't even go up to the stairs, can they, to run away from it? Constitution Hill doesn't want too far, does he?
The only way they could have done it, Dave, they could have done it years ago and there'd be no Mayor's Hurdle. But they can't because the Mayor's Hurdle is that trip.
Yeah, and they've got to do it for the Mayor's programme. And I like the Mayor's programme, to be fair to it.
Yeah,
we're in a state, right, where we had it a few years back, didn't we? We had Bouverdere, Apples, Jade, Lorena. Like, it looked like an absolute filthy Champion Hurdle. Then Espoir de Lam blew up one and obviously was ill-fated. We've had Epitant going winning races after. We've had bad Champion Hurdles. And everyone at the time has been saying it. All these previews we've done, it's a shit Champion Hurdle. Then Constitution Hill comes along to make it potentially a great Champion Hurdle because he's a weapon. State Man's an absolute aeroplane as well. And then unfortunately, like you say, the same talk comes up on Twitter where people are saying you should have a 2.5 mile race for these horses that aren't capable of being Champion Hurdlers. Get in the bin. It's better when you've got a horse like this. Like, the Tuesday at Cheltenham is magical anyway. Imagine being there with a wide open Supreme, an Arkle where Marine National probably should shit home. Let's let him go and do it. A Champion Hurdle where you're going to see history made. And then we've got Mares Hurdles, National Hunt Chases. We've got handicaps to get stuck into for betting opportunities, haven't we? This is going to be one for the ages. Constitution Hill's going to. Well, I hope he just destroys them. I can't see how he can be any more impressive than he was last year, though, because I felt like that was almost peak. It's dangerous to think, though, isn't it, that he probably has got more to come, isn't he?
Well, he's just got such a high cruising speed. So you know, Nico de Bonville is just in the fortunate position where he can go and press the button at any point he wants in the race, take 15 lengths out of the field. Nobody's able to respond. He's still got plenty left. He can still gallop all the way to the line. So it's just such an easy ride for de Bonville. Just want to go back to the point you were making before about, you know, people wanting a 2.5 mile hurdle. The problem with that is everybody goes chasing, which is why we get all these weak stayers hurdles, we get these weak champion hurdles. But the people that want the 2.5 mile hurdle are the same people that thought Constitution Hill should have gone chasing this season.
It should have gone in the Gold Cup.
Like, it's complete madness. The difference is we've got a Ryanair, and people do complain about that. And I actually don't mind the Ryanair because you've got all of those good horses going chasing. You know, you've got so many more horses at the top end when you compare to hurdles. So I actually do think that makes sense. And I also agree that the 2.5 mile hurdle for the mares is a good thing too. So I think that whilst I am a real critic of some of the things that Cheltenham have done and some of the races that are on the cards, I'm not a critic of any of those things at all.
Nice. Well, I think the easiest way to sum this up, right, is obviously different because it's 1 to 3 with the bookies, but we'll use exchange prices just to make this sound even juicier on here. If you take your 1.4, your 2 to 5, and you take your even money Marine Nationale, 7 to 4, the double pays on the two of them. We'll talk about sticking in multiples. Wouldn't be far wrong to say, I don't think, to advise people, if you want to have a little bet for Tuesday to try and get a guaranteed winner, 7 to 4 at the moment it is for Marine Nationale and Constitution Hill both to win on that first day. There will be boosts and all sorts on the day where you might get better than that, but I don't think that's too far wrong from being a nice price. And obviously it's the first day of 4 days racing, right? 28 races of fantastic stuff to get stuck into. Some of these ones you want to roll into the next days. You don't have to get all your winners on the same day, do you? So should we wrap up the champion hurdle there and move on to the ladies?
Mm.
Boom.